Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 33. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report that is packed once again here with a lot of updates, especially regarding our trading robots, as you have seen on the thumbnail here, which most probably has intrigued you. There is definitely news, very good news coming out of EXPERT4X. We're going to have a closer look at exactly what that means. There is improvements to the robots. There is a price estimate here also for where it's going to be. And obviously there's also going to be a rough deadline here of when we can see some of the changes happening and when you can start buying these particular new robots. We have many other things obviously also to cover. We need all the other EAs, how well they have done, how is our portfolio. We have finished also the FCMO trading. We have made a video on that, so all of this we're going to cover. But first of all, we're going to start off with yield notes, and basically there's no real news out of yield notes here. They've been very quiet for the past week, similar to what has happened earlier. But again, I need to tell you a bit about the important reminder that we also started off with last week. So let me just read the email that came out from the yield notes team and Steve, the CEO here, to make sure that you are up to date on the deadlines that yield notes had set. So important reminder, it says the deadline to claim your yield notes NFT is rapidly approaching, basically coming up at midnight UTC +2 on October 1st, 2023. And it says any unclaimed NFTs after the deadline will be burned, destroyed, thereby increasing the rarity and potential value of the claimed NFTs. While this action will not erase your yield notes balance, the advantage associated with the NFT ownership, such as self-governance of your balance, the 120% buyback terms, potential market appreciation, and more will be forfeited. To help you navigate this new terrain, we will create a comprehensive NFT frequently asked questions site and a rich library of community videos in various languages to guide you through buying, selling, storing, and more. And you have the link here also below, and that will basically take you over to the yield notes NFT. Table of contents in here is, as you see on the screen, there's basically 6 points. You can go through all the individual details to see how you can actually claim your NFT. So for now, from what we understand here, you're not going to get your 5% quarterly profit anymore. It's put on your NFT, and then basically on the buyback, when they are ready with everything, you are getting the appreciation of 120%, but you can obviously read a lot more about that on the site itself. Now let's go and see exactly what has happened to the Decenomy coins here. Obviously everything is linked as usual. Again, we have seen SAPP and Sapphire coin. If we have a look at the shared masternoding on iHost.mn, we can see there's not much difference in the return on the investment per year. From last week to this week, we are still at 60%. So basically just 0.5% down, but it varies different times of day and different times of week. But overall, we can see we have made just over 3.5% as usual here with the Sapphire coin, which is great. We are up at 203.82%, but overall coin development hasn't really moved anything at all. We are still at minus 80.2%, and obviously we don't believe that's going to change anytime soon. You can see it on the graph also. It has been downwards going. It can't really go much further anymore, so it is pretty much getting very flat, and only any news coming out of yield notes and Decenomy will obviously boost it again if that is positive news. Now when it comes to PNY, again here nothing happens apart from the iHost.mn website. We are getting our roughly 10%. As you can see, it was around 49% last week and the same this week. We're up to 1193.2%, so again 10% for the past week, which is normal where we are finding ourselves. But overall coin development again has stagnated, pretty much the same. The only time it actually changes a bit is the influence at the moment with the euro and dollar in here, because we are basically using the euro just to see exactly what kind of profits we have made. Profits made, you can really see that out of that particular graph in here, and that's also why, again, nothing's going to happen here until the end of the year, as I mentioned so many times before. Birake is the only one that normally has a bit of fluctuation, and this week it has unfortunately fluctuated in the wrong direction. Return on the investment per year, 123% last week. Now it's down to 120. Doesn't really matter too much. We can still see we are getting about a shared masternoding 10% for that particular week, so that is great. We are back to where we used to be, but overall coin development has taken another big hit. And again, that is more down to the fluctuation, as I mentioned before, on the dollar and the euro in between them. But as you can see, the graph has pretty much is flat, but still with a downwards trend. And that's basically what is reflected in the numbers here too. If we have a quick look at Bitcoin, that hasn't looked very nice here either. We left Bitcoin just at 29,000 plus a bit here, so 29,400 thereabouts. And since then it has been slowly but surely declining, and in the last day it has dropped down to 28,635 where it's trading right now. It has been a bit lower, almost down to 28,250. So definitely a bit of a hit, and it's going to be interesting to see if that trend is going to continue much longer. Also, BNB versus USD, pretty much the same as you just saw here on Bitcoin. It has been declining all the way through, and we are now down to 231 US dollars for the BNB, and that is definitely extremely low. I keep mentioning, don't forget that we used to be in a range about a year ago or so, around the 300, 350, and after that things have certainly gone downhill. Downhill is also something for the Trillant, or basically no information, or a lot of word salads, and that is also what we are seeing this particular week in here. The only news we got out of the newsletter itself is this particular one, so let me read that one up for you. We greatly appreciate your trust and perseverance. Thank you very much for this. Most of you are positive and confident about our joint TTT company from the good old time and its many beautiful memories, the unforgettable encounters with other partners, friendships developed from them, and the hope of financial improvement in daily life. We are thankful for each of you and what you bring to the table, which is why my team and I are working hard to restore the old conditions of smooth transactions. And again, yeah, very nice words, but they don't really mean anything, and it doesn't really reflect either what is actually coming. Now, there has also been further information here. It says a week ago, I announced an additional feature in a newsletter that will improve our overall situation, and basically provides a link in here. And it says we're in the final stage of programming and implementation. It is planned to be live online in the last week of August with updated information and the details of the features accessible to all. You will find the exact date and access links in one of the following newsletters, and then specifically the management itself. And again, it doesn't really tell you much. And if you go and click on the link, it doesn't really tell you much more here either. Basically, coming soon, we are working on a groundbreaking new feature that will usher in a new era for our community. Get excited for an innovative addition that will take your Trillant experience to new levels, and more updates to follow soon. So basically, it's an update on an update, which is an update which is then put together in a word salad. And obviously, we don't have much confidence right now in this. They normally blow straight through the deadlines here without even informing us. But let's see, maybe this time around it's going to be different. Quick look at the xt.com for the tree coin itself here. We can see that that was also been declining in the last basically week, and since then it has come back in the last day and a half in here. So we're now back at the same level as we were last week. Again, there has been more selling than there has been buying, and obviously again here you can see a couple of big drawdowns and obviously spikes in the wrong direction. But again, we are now currently at 0.0002699, and that is also where you're going to find pretty much the coin store at. So there is a small difference, as you can see at the moment. CoinStore is currently trading around 0.0002627. And also here you have similar sell spikes going back. So 3 or 4 days, so right after the weekend basically. But it's good to see that finally it has recovered in the last day or two. But we are far, far away from where the coin actually was supposed to be around a year ago. Also, what should have been here was a lot of money coming in from the money tree for week 32. And no, we didn't forget to actually put it in a post. This is the second week in a row where the money tree hasn't traded at all. We can see it is working, but we have a bit of a feeling that there has been some changes to the money tree. So for some reason that simply hasn't made the EA start trading again here. So we did try to reboot them, everything else, and at the moment they're saying things are working okay. But obviously it is a bit strange that after we had those huge drawdowns and losses, after that all of a sudden we have 2 weeks where absolutely nothing happens and no real information coming out of it either. We are normally seeing quite a few emails from DeepFX, and now we haven't really seen anything in weeks. So we are trying to get some answers as what exactly is happening. So far, no news. Plenty of good news is from the profit retriever for week 32. We can see here again that it is cashing in nicely. We have seen higher results, yes, but Aussie Japanese $639 or 6.4% is definitely okay. We have seen them in the $1,000 sometimes. Aussie Japanese number 2, different signal, different setup, but almost the same also here. Profits 596 or 6.0%. US 30 is back in line here with $372 or 3.7%. And then the FTSE 100 coming in at $371 or 3.7%. And in the number 5 position here for the top 5, Euro Japanese, $283 or 2.8%. Overall total, if you would have traded those 5 in the last week, $2,260 or 4.5%. And we are quite happy with those results. Now, obviously, again, I mention every single week, the profit retriever should be treated and traded in a portfolio in here. This portfolio was set up when we started all the profit retrievers 518 days ago, as you can see now, and things have gone, well, not smoothly. Obviously, there's been a couple of bumps on the way, but again, profit is continuing to come in. You can see the profits overall for the weekly returns 2.2, the monthly returns 9.4, and they're actually a bit low because don't forget, we are not changing the lot size as our balance gets bigger and bigger. We are always trading every single account as it was $10,000, and that's why the monthly return continues to go down when you look at FX Blue, which is why we also put in the net profit in here instead. We are now basically halfway through the month here of trading, and so far it looks good. We are up by $9,125, so it looks like we're going to be pretty much around the same area as we have been for the last 3 or 4 months, and that is called stable and solid results. Now you can obviously find a lot more about all this. You have on our website, you can go and have a look at the portfolio. You can even go and have a look at the individual accounts. So for example here, gold, silver, British pounds, USD, CAD, Swiss francs, all of them are fully accessible to you. You can see exactly how we trade them, how well they have done, which one is in drawdown, which are not. And you will also see that we have the FTMO account. So this was started off by a request from Alex from EXPERT4X if we could try and set this up. There's a link in here where we are trying the FTMO profit portfolio, and obviously we have blown a bit through the 5%, so it has been a bad week for that particular one. So we have almost gone up to 9 or 10% here now, which is obviously not where we wanted to be. But again, this was all being a bit of a test process to see exactly how we could do this, and it seems like every single time we try something new, we always start off at a very bad situation, and then later on when we adjust it a bit, then things are coming okay. Now you can see in here that the results is not too bad. We have 1.6% weekly return, monthly returns of 6.8. And the profit factor is good, 3.44. The history we have is obviously pretty new, only 23 days. And we have put up also the profits on the individual days here. So it is cashing in. But as we mentioned here also, we were staying within the 5% since last week. This week here has been a bit more awful and terrible. And basically it has opened up now to be around 9.5%. So obviously we have made some adjustments, but until some of the currency pairs are closing off, they won't really have any effect. So it's simply wait and then hopefully get the details back online. Back online here is also the top 10 results. This is our weekly report where we are looking at the profit retriever 4 weeks back. We are trying to look at the best 10 results, which ones should actually be traded. The ones that are cashing in every single week have low drawdowns. And again, for week 32, as you can see here, 10 signals made up more than $13,000. So definitely this is the video series to watch if you are serious about your profit retriever trading. And you can obviously find a lot more on that on our website. Again, if you're into the profit retriever trading, you want to do everything yourself, but you are not exactly sure how to, start off with the profit retriever trading button. Click that one. There's a lot of videos in here where we try to explain everything. You will also see all the different currency pairs we are trading, including index and metals. If you think this is way too much and you simply just want to copy some of the signals instead, then head over to the copy link trading. There you will then see how easy it is. You set it up, you let somebody else trade for you. So that is the options you have right now. And at the bottom, you can see the spaghetti trader. We are still trading this particular one. And the results for this week is, again, very unstable. We have seen the last couple of weeks, they were very stable. We made some changes. We took away some currency pairs. And yet we find ourselves here again with basically zero profit. If we take all three accounts together, the 15 minutes is down by 3.6%. The 1 hour one seems to be the one working the best most of the time, $605 or 6.6% in plus. And then we have the 4 hour one also down $376 or minus 4.2%. So again, we're going to trade this one until the end of the month. And I think basically we're going to leave it. It is extremely difficult to get this one to work. And we'd rather want to work on some of the other projects that we are actually already talking about also in this particular video. Now you can find more about this if you think you can do better than us, if you have real tricks in there. But we have all the FX Blue links, both for the 15 minute, the 1 hour and the 4 hour one. So you please go ahead, have a look here. If you are interested in trading this, if you are a premium forum member, that particular EA is actually for free. So that is also why we've been trying to get this one to work. The other part that we have managed to get to work is the Trade Explorer, and the profit is a bit low compared to what we normally see. It has been a very quiet week for that particular one. The 22 pairs made $111 or 0.7%. And the 10 pair one, which the one we had the crash here a couple of weeks ago now, made 231 or 1.7%. So that is okay, but we obviously need to claw back a bit of what was lost. And again, the graph is here. You can see the drop that we had for the 2,662 in minus a couple of weeks back. Since then, we have moved forward. And I just mentioned you here, $231 was last week. At the moment, we're up 175. So it looks like we're going to be pretty much in the same area, clawing back some of the profits. Overall weekly return 2.7, monthly return 11.6. So we are going back in the right direction, and hopefully we'll be back where we were in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks if we continue with that kind of profits. Now we also made a couple of videos this week, and this is the first one, the winning strategy, where we have basically traded the prop crusher. So, and that we have done on a 10,000, 50,000 and 200,000 FTMO account. Basically set it up for test. This was the phase 2 part. And we decided to go ahead and not only share this one on YouTube, but we also shared this one with the fellow traders of EXPERT4X Premium Forum, and that actually led to a couple of extra new things, and that is also what we're gonna cover in here. Now you can find a lot more on that particular video, also through our website, where we have links to these accounts through FX Blue. We have also links shown to you exactly which links for the EXPERT4X coupling service we are using. We're also showing you here the lot factor that we have been using to trade those. And then we, at least but definitely most importantly, also show you the FTMO accounts for all three in here. So you can see how they cashed in. You can see the maximum drawdowns. And that was basically the most important thing for the phase 2 part here, that we stayed within the 5% daily drawdown limits, and all of them did quite fine. The one that was highest was actually 200,000. And we came with some recommendations for if we're going to trade that in the future. All this here we basically led now also to another video, because Alex came back and said, okay, thank you for participating in here. And then he started to share a couple of things regarding the profit retriever, and also a lot of news on the prop crusher here, basically on exactly deadlines, pricings, and also there might be multiple different versions of those particular ones in here. So that is why we actually made this particular video. And Alex had previously in this week also mixed it up here with the Forex trading made simple, where again he explains the price averaging, so purchase price averaging, and how exactly that works. So this is something that the prop cruncher and also the profit retriever is actually working with, and working quite fine with. And he explains a bit in here how that particular works. And the next part is also here, so the prop crusher versus the profit retriever, the difference in between those two EAs here, which is very, very important to understand when you are trading. But we have covered that in the video that I just showed you here before. So all these videos is definitely worth having a closer look at. And last but not least, also Alex mentioned here this particular week that there were some issues for some of the traders on the MetaTrader with crashes, different surprises in here. He makes a bit of a video showing how you can try and avoid this, or at least also how to set things up so it is quickly back up and running. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, there is plenty of news. There's deadlines coming up here. We all hope it's going to come through, but we also know that that is not always the case. But at least you can get the latest and greatest information here. And hopefully you will also be with us next week when we have even more news. And let's see where everything takes us.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.